Jack, you were just saying it's quite hard to get in the Christmas spirit with the fixtures you've got scheduled before the big day and on Boxing Day, of course. It is different, isn't it, being a footballer at this time of year to what everybody else experiences?
Well, yeah, obviously, I think no one wants to come in on Christmas Day to train, but obviously you have to do it. But yeah, it's just with the fixtures and that, it's just probably the busiest time of year for us as players and obviously as coaching staff. And obviously we've got a point at Crewe, so we're hopefully getting back to where we should be, and hopefully we can win on Saturday and take that into the Christmas and New Year period. So yeah.
How big an opportunity is it? Because you've actually got a little break after New Year because of a game being postponed. But over this Christmas period where you're playing every 3 days, is that a big chance to get up that table?
Yeah, it's a massive chance. Like you said, after New Year's Day, I don't think we play to the 10th. So what's that now? 4 games in between that. So it's a massive chance to put ourselves back in the playoffs or just keep winning games if we can, to then hopefully get a bit of rest in the legs after that for a period of time. But I think the main aim now is obviously looking to Saturday and take one game at a time. But yeah, this next block of 4 games is massive for us.
How challenging is it at the moment? I had a quick look at the team and what happened at the weekend. The average age of the team that finished at Crewe was 21. You've been in that position where you've been one of the guys kind of coming in and finding your feet. Quite quickly, you're now one of the guys who's experienced out there. How challenging is it for everybody with the absentees at the minute?
Yeah, obviously we've had a few injuries at the moment, which obviously isn't ideal. But then it's opportunities for everyone else. The young lads who are dying to play, and I think you've seen some of them come in on Saturday against Crewe and done really well. We've shown great character, come from behind and to obviously should have got 3 points, but to get a point, obviously, I think anyone would have took that at half time, being 2-1 down. So, and that's credit to us as players, the coaching staff, and everyone for putting their trust in them young players as well. And obviously they've repaid it on Saturday, and now obviously we've got to go and do it again. Really,
I suppose the big thing everybody needs to remember is it's not something new here, is it, for young players to get an opportunity and maybe get thrown in at the deep end sometimes. Yeah. Does that make it easier? Was it easier for you coming into the side knowing that there'd been guys around you who'd been in a similar situation?
Yeah, definitely. I think the coaching staff as well are quite, the gaffer, Jimmy and John, they're always saying you're in there for a reason. They know you're good enough and you have the ability to, and that takes a bit of pressure off you, I think, as well. It did me anyway. But and you do sort of get thrown in the deep end a bit, But then, as we've seen, I think like myself, Tommy, when he came into the team, everyone's sort of dealt with it, and even the lads that came in Saturday, have held their own and stood up when the challenge was a bit tougher to come from behind and obviously rescue a point. So, but that's what it's all about. The academy's obviously brilliant here as well. So the lads that are coming through as well, they're all dying to play and they're all good enough to play as well, which is the pleasing thing.
How much confidence and belief as a young player does it give you to reach those milestones? Your first league appearance, your first league start, in someone like Ben Woods' case, first league goal last weekend. How much does that boost you and kind of give you that belief?
Yeah, massively. We were joking around with Ben Woods there, saying the one he's hit the worst probably from outside the box is the one that's gone in. But no, it's massive. It's just little milestones. Obviously you all grow up wanting to be a professional footballer, and then obviously the first aim is, right, can I get my debut, then your league start, full league start, whatever, goal. So it's all just ticking off your list really, and then obviously then it's something to build on now. So hopefully in Ben Woods' case you can go and get a few more now through the Christmas period, which would be great, but to the end of the season. And then for the other lads, it's, well, I've got one game now, can I go and get 2, can I go and get 3, can I go and get 10, and just keep building their experiences up, which I've obviously done this season, I like to think.
Back here this weekend against a club that have played a part in your career. Just tell us about your time at Walsall and what a part they've played in getting you to where you are now. I think it didn't really go as well as I wanted to at Walsall, I think, with COVID and that, and I didn't really help myself out, I think it was fair to say. But it made me realise the other side of football, when you're not playing every week, you've got to get your head down and crack on, and I think it, obviously I look back and it didn't go as well as I wanted to, but what I've taken away from that experience has probably put me in a better position, if that makes sense, and
dealing with the ups and downs in men's football, but football in general, because obviously I didn't really have that before, and obviously I was at Reading, the youth team, and obviously going into a first team environment for the first time. So, listen, it didn't go as well as I wanted to, but well, there's a few people I still know there and still wish them well. So yeah.
How, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, you said at least some of it's on you.
Yeah.
How big is it to have been able to sort of hold your hand up and take responsibility and learn from that?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to, and I think it's part of growing up. That I think it's, I look back at it now, and obviously if I could change it, yeah, I would. But I think sometimes I had to do that to realise that it's not like a youth team football where you were the main one, you're playing every week, rah rah rah, and you obviously then going into a first team environment, it's not like that. You can't get away with certain things. So obviously if I could change certain things of how it went at the club, for my own development of playing more games or whatever, obviously I would. But I think it's put me in a better position now going forward to know obviously I can't do certain things and act certain ways, sort of thing. So yeah.
Just kind of going back to the balance in the changing room now and all these young players that are getting a chance, do you think that helps with that environment? The fact that very few of you will have had, seamless careers, no bumps in the road, no setbacks, no problems, and you can pass that on to a 17, 18, 19-year-old who's coming
definitely.
through.
I think with me, obviously, a lot of the young lads coming through, because obviously I'm only 22, I'm still like to think young. But it's the same thing for them players, when they're coming through. They'll have ups and downs during their career. Everyone has, Sean Worley, Seamus, Sean McConville, the older players here will tell you they've had ups and downs. It's never plain sailing, but I think it's just having the resilience to keep going when it's not going well. As an individual and as a side, obviously we're going to have spells where we're not performing or doing well, and it's obviously how can we stick together as a team, but then individually how can you make sure you're doing your job for the team, sort of thing. So yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but at 22, you were bringing that average up the other day.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's the first time I think everyone has ever said that to me. So, getting older now.
and just on this game this weekend, it's a daft question, but just how valuable would 3 points be at this stage?
Oh, it'd be massive. I think I looked at the table the other day. I think we're 9th now. I think we're not too far off the playoffs. So, and obviously we're at home as well, which is a home form I like to think is normally better than our away form this season. So. And it's a massive chance just to build on what we got Saturday, really. And I think that's the main thing to hopefully take us into a positive Christmas period.